Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Limited Addiction Podcast. My name is Frankie.
My name's Daniel.
We're going to talk about all things nerdy. So today is National Superhero Day, and we thought we might talk about predictions for the upcoming Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. I am hoping for Spider-Man to show up in post-credits, but I know that's a pipe dream.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that today when I was reading all the news about the rumored title for the Spider-Man movie. For those of you who haven't heard it, it is Spider-Man: The New Avenger. And I was thinking, is it possible to be the end credit? Yes. But have they had enough time to actually do it? No.
I don't know.
Well, actually, no, it can't.
No, apparently they've known since before they announced all the Phase 3 movies. They've known This has been negotiations for a while. See, they don't have to have the actor cast.
That's all. I was just going to say, they haven't had the actors cast it. But yeah, they could just have a guy in a costume, kind of like...
Yeah, just show up.
Season 2 of Walking Dead with Michonne.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Spider-Man. Can I join your team?
If he's in the end credit, I think it would just be webbing. I don't think we'll actually see the costume or anything else. Or maybe a spider, like the radioactive spider.
Yeah, maybe. But probably not. They probably haven't had enough time. It'll just be some Thanos thing.
Yeah, it has seemed like all the end credits lately have just been leading up to Infinity War, even though we're, 2 years out from it?
Yeah, something like that. I don't tend to do math.
16 or 17?
I think it was 17, 18, 19. I don't remember.
If anyone's listening to this, they're going to be like, 17, you idiots.
I get that and the DC slated things confused.
Yeah.
Year-wise. I don't know. I think they'll probably tease Carol Danvers. If that'll be the end credits, I don't know if that's just going to happen during the movie.
Yeah. During the movie, I think we have a good chance of seeing Black Panther, whether it's in costume or not, since they've already shown the actor.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. They've already shown the costume, too, so it wouldn't even be, that big of a surprise.
Yeah. Well, if we dive into predictions, where is this movie taking us as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, I don't think it's so much as a prediction. With Civil War being the next one, I think the team either metaphorically or actually will be disbanded in some way. And, either someone will die, something big will happen that the team kind of disassembles.
Yeah, there is, when I was reviewing the trailers today, to get hyped up for the movie coming out this Friday. If you're listening to it when we post this, if not, it's been out, you've seen it, we probably look like idiots.
If we even post this.
Yeah. But there is one line, I believe it is Tony Stark says it to America and Hawkeye about some of us won't make it out of this, and Captain America says back to him, I don't have any plans for tomorrow. So I could see them killing Hawkeye.
No, they're not going to kill Hawkeye because he's already casted in the Civil War movie. The only people that could die are Thor, which if he dies, he'll just come back for his movie. Hulk, or one of the two new ones.
Black Widow, because Disney doesn't like her.
I think she's also slotted to come back in Civil War. That's the problem with them already announcing the cast. Chris Hemsworth isn't going to be in it, but that could be because at the end of Avengers 2, he's back in Asgard.
Yeah, they could do the storyline where he gets banned from Earth for the third movie, or where he has to go help.
My prediction is a catastrophe happens that they just feel so awful that they're like, well, we're done. They're fighting Ultron, and then some kind of cataclysmic thing happens, a bunch of people die, or they reevaluate their whole purpose.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'm thinking that, I said this to you earlier, the trailers, I think what they've shown us is all going to be the first part of the movie. I think they want us to think we know that, the movie's going to be them fighting Ultron, but I think, a big part of the movie is kind of what you're talking about, the afterburn of Ultron, where it gets set up very quickly, We get the character introduced. We get Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch introduced quickly. They beat them, and then we deal with the fallout of it. And then, I mean, even if you just look at like the different characters disbanding, and going their own separate ways, I mean, that's a good solid half hour right there of each character having their own thing. You know, obviously they'll spend more time on the big three with Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, Hulk, depending on who you are. But yeah, I think that's a good point to put it at, to where the Avengers will be over, seemingly, at the end of this movie. And then you go right into Civil War, which is Iron Man in Civil War. Have they?
Yeah, Tony Stark's officially. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. I get Robert Downey Jr. now. He's so synonymous with Tony Stark. I just look at him. Tony Stark.
He's the Hugh Jackman of the Marvel universe.
That was last minute negotiations. Well, I guess it wasn't really last minute, but that was a big push because originally he wasn't in the script. So then he pushed to be in it because his contract only has him slated for so many more movies. So he worked some kind of deal. I don't remember it exactly, but it just probably results in him getting a buttload more money.
Naturally.
Yeah, he's going to be in it. So the Civil War movie is basically Avengers 2.15.
That's what they call this.
Well, just with the comics, they don't like to go 0.5. They go 0.1, 0.2, 0.3.
That's true. Do they even do 0.2s and 0.3s?
They do. For Spider-Man, they did it for learning to crawl. So,
yeah.
And then they're doing it again right now. The current story I'm not caught up on. But I don't know. We just know that Thor's not going to be around because he's not slotted to be in Civil War.
He's got a third movie slotted, right?
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah, which they could do the Dark Avengers in the third Thor movie.
The Dark Avengers, led by Norman Osborn. If you establish Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man movie,
that's
which
true.
I don't think they'll do.
Yeah, Spider-Man, to step off the Avengers, they're not doing another origin story. The president of the Marvel Studios has said that in a recent interview. His words were, I think people know it already, since we've gotten it 5 times now.
Yeah.
And they're going to be focusing on his high school years and more humor than origin story.
Which I'm fine with. I think the Daredevil show did a good job. Obviously that's a different format, but they didn't dwell on the origin. They did bits and flashes. I think if they did that with the Spider-Man movie, just kind of show some scenes. It gets overlooked a lot, but the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk movie, they didn't really dwell on that origin either. They did it in the opening credits as just kind of flashes. I think if they do that with the Spider-Man movie, they'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with the interview that, I mean, if you are going to watch the movie, chances are you've seen at least The Amazing Spider-Man, if not the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, to where you should know the origin. And really, I mean, comic fans, yes, there's more to it, but kid gets bit by a spider, starts to have powers.
His uncle gives him wisdom.
Yeah.
He ignores it, and then his uncle dies, and he feels guilty.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
It would be interesting to see if Marvel doesn't even touch on the Uncle Ben stuff. But even that, I mean, a quick one-liner at the beginning of the movie from May of just...
I hate to bring this up at all, but the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, which I know that's designed for kids, but I think they did a good job. Episode 1, it establishes in his monologue that he's been Spider-Man for a year, and he just touches briefly about Uncle Ben. I think if they do that, you put this new Spider-Man somewhere, he's been Spider-Man for a few months or even a year, he talks about it a little bit, but you don't have to dwell on it.
Yeah, that's where, as soon as I heard him in the interview say they were going to focus on the high school years, I instantly thought of the cartoon too, because I mean, for what it tells a good story.
Yeah, it's just a little too. I mean, it's for kids, so
Jokey.
it's too jokey, too not enough substance. But I don't know. I've only watched almost all of the first season, and then I gave up.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first 2 seasons of it. But I mean, yeah, you could get, because Spider-Man is going to be in Civil War, whether it's the end post-credit scene or it's going to be an active player in it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. The whole Civil War, we could go on forever with what our predictions for Civil War.
Yeah.
Spider-Man plays a pretty pivotal role in the comics.
Yeah, which before the deal was announced, it was thought that Black Panther would take that role over.
I think he still will. I think it still will be him as the focus, but Spider-Man will be in there. I just don't think enough time was allotted for him to switch places with Black Panther. And they've already got the actor for Black Panther.
Yeah, and written the script and everything.
But yeah, basically, in the Civil War, Spider-Man plays the role of the guy stuck in the middle of the two sides. First, he goes one way. The whole Civil War story is fascinating because there's not clearly a right and wrong, and I'm pretty sure the Marvel movie will do a great job with that. It just won't be exactly the same idea as the comics.
Yeah, I would guess, as far as Spider-Man's concerned, with Civil War, like I said, either the post-credits, we'll see some as, probably just a quick, you'll see the suit, probably about as long as the X-Men Apocalypse Nightcrawler clip that was released this week, to where, you get a glimpse of it, get people excited for it, and then that'll be it. Or it'll just be, while they're doing between the two different sides, you'll have either it mentioned or a photograph of him, something like that, as they're not actually introducing the character, but more an Easter egg for us, kind of like.
They go to Phil Coulson, slap the picture down. You heard about this kid?
Yeah, that's exactly how they need to do it.
Heard about this kid in red and blue?
But yeah, as far as Black Panther, will we see him in the Avengers movie?
That's a good question. I don't think we'll see him. I think we'll get Wakanda mentions. That would be my guess. I don't know if there's enough room for Black Panther.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of sitting. I feel like that's where I'm sitting is they'll end up in Wakanda at some point. I mean, that's pretty well thought, because there is the clip of the woman in the cave that's thought to be at Wakanda.
Just because she's a black woman?
It's true. I mean,
automatically a black woman. Wakanda!
Well, and there's a cave. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to Wakanda, but there's caves everywhere.
I spent 20 years living in Africa.
But were you in Wakanda?
No.
That's what I thought. But yeah, it's pretty well thought that. So I would think, I think we're going to get to Wakanda, if nothing else. And then we'll either see him without the costume or it will just be mentioned in name. It would be a cool scene for the post credits to you see him out of costume, either one of his guards is talking to him or he's just watching news, and it's news of the movie we just watched.
Hey, remember this movie you just watched?
Yeah. And you see him put on the mask or something.
It is time.
Yeah.
I don't
catchy line like that to go.
I don't know why I automatically go default African accent. Maybe he's just a normal sounding guy.
Well, he lives in Wakanda, so it makes sense that he would have an accent.
Come to the beach.
That's Jamaican. And a water park.
A local water park.
Who else? Spider-Man.
What if he sounds like Sebastian from Little Mermaid?
I think that'd be a very hit or miss. I mean, if we're taking this conversation serious, I don't think they'll give him an accent at all because they'll be too afraid.
Maybe a slight one.
Yeah. But I mean, then
Wakanda's
a made up country, so who's to say what accent they actually have? I guess you can look at his name and guess that they would at least have some, or that they're space aliens.
T'Challa?
Yeah, since anyone who's an alien in the Marvel Universe has an apostrophe middle of their name, like Jode and
I don't know any. There's no other aliens.
Kazar.
No, that's not an alien.
He's not an alien.
But now to bring it back, I think he'll get mentioned again. Maybe he's the end credit. We're coming right back around. Maybe it's T'Challa sitting on his couch eating potato chips, watching the news like, it is time.
Yeah, I mean that.
Where is my spear?
I'm going to put that out as my official prediction. I think, yeah, that would be a great ending, you know. It gives, even though people, I think, are expecting that, and they may want something different, but I think that will hit a home run.
Hit home runs, multiple home runs.
For everyone to have that scene where, you know, he sees it happening, puts on the mask, and says something like you said, it's time.
It is time.
Like just a nice one-liner to end it out with. Because then that feeds right into Civil War with him being a big part of it. Will we see Carol Danvers?
I think so. The question is, have they already cast her? Who played? I can't even think of Scooby-Doo characters, but the actress that was in that is
Daphne.
Daphne.
Is the character you're thinking of?
It's not Thelma. Sure, it's not Thelma.
Thelma and Daphne are the two characters. Females.
But Thelma, the actress that played Thelma, is going to be in the Avengers Age of Ultron movie. They let that slip for a red carpet reveal.
Oh, yeah.
I think if Carol Danvers is going to be in this movie, it's her. That's my prediction. But
yeah, she's one that kind of like Spider-Man with Civil War. I think we could get a glimpse of, if we're sticking with movies ending with dissembled.
And then someone sitting on a couch saying, "It is time."
Yeah, I think we could see multiple clips of
a bunch of people getting up out of the couch saying, "It is time."
Not necessarily that, but several people, you know, like you'll see newscasts. That actually it works out. You still have Black Panther on his couch watching the news, eating some chips, and
Wakanda chips.
Wakanda chips. Wakanda chips. Sells itself, beaks and feeds. But yeah, so like whatever he's watching, or he's just watching cameras. I don't know too much of Black Panther's story from the comics.
He's a king.
I know he's a king.
The lineage of kings.
He's a different person now, so that's a question of which one they'll go with too.
They'll go with T'Challa.
Probably.
Son. His dad was the old Black Panther.
Does he have cameras that watch the world?
T'Challa?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what I'm thinking of then.
Maybe.
I mean, he could. But that would be where you could see him where, you know, establish he has cameras that watches different areas to protect Wakanda so he can see threats.
Honestly, I don't know that much about Black Panther.
Clearly we don't. So if anyone out there knows anything about Black Panther,
we know that he has a couch.
To us.
He eats Wakanda chips.
What kind of chips?
Wakanda chips.
That's what I got. Yeah, so if you know something about Black Panther, come and tell us how wrong we are. It's weird. I know a lot more about Carol Danvers than Black Panther, why I don't know, other than she shows up in Guardians of the Galaxy and the whole her and Rogue thing.
Oh.
But
comics
and stuff, yeah.
I think Carol Danvers will not be Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. They're going with Captain Marvel for the movies. She'll just be a military presence.
That is yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that one. Yeah.
She's not powered up yet. She has some convoluted origin, which I could bet money that they won't run with for the movie. It'll be something different.
Yeah. I mean, how many people could they tease in one movie?
A lot. Just a lot of people sitting on their couch.
Well, with the couch theory, I'm thinking, let's go ahead and get this out. I'm thinking we see him watching a bunch of different screens.
And so he's Batman.
Yes, he's Batman, essentially. Black costume, both named after an animal. He's Black Panther Man. And in those videos, we could see a Carol Danvers either as Captain Marvel or military presence. You can see a Spider-Man. You could see Sentry.
They're not going to bring Sentry into the movies. Nope, that's a...
I mean, they could really throw in Daredevil, honestly.
Yeah, Daredevil,
you can
Luke Cage, because they've already cast
anybody that's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a.k.a. Jessica Jones. I'm trying to think. Winter Soldier could be back.
He's going to be back in Civil War.
Yeah, you can see all these people.
Stephen Strange. Yeah, that's the guy.
Has he been casted yet?
Yeah, the Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah. I missed that one.
The Cumberbatch. As long as he's not busy.
Katie Sackhoff is the fan favorite to be Carol Danvers.
Young people, I don't know who that is.
Me neither.
If I saw a picture, maybe be like, I saw her in a movie once.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
I want Emily Blunt.
I know what article you're talking about. She would be good.
Yeah.
Dead silence.
Yeah, if she hit microphones, shuffle papers.
This week in paper shuffling.
Chewing gum.
Fish tanks. Dog sneezes.
I've gone blank with how many people they've said are going to show up eventually.
Yeah, I was trying to find an article. It came out a few weeks ago. That might have been it. Dang it. A few weeks ago where it had like likely to see, not likely, complete shock. I remember the complete shock was Spider-Man, just same way I was talking about time reasons. I think Black Panther is the one that people I think are guaranteed.
Yeah, sitting on the couch, I'm telling you. So, Carol Danvers, maybe. Black Panther, probably. The Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Anybody who's been cast already is likely to show up here, or anybody who wears a mask.
Yeah. They'll either show up or get mentioned.
Yeah. It would be cool if they brought in Daredevil.
Yeah. Charlie Cox has said he'd love a cameo in Civil War.
Yeah. Speaking of Mr. Cox.
Mr. Cox.
Daredevil has already been approved for season 2, if you haven't heard.
Yeah,
not until 2016.
I have a computer, of course I heard.
Shut up. But yeah, there was an interview with Cox about they were trying to
Yep, he's forever just Cox.
With Mr. Charlie. They were trying to, see what he knew about upcoming storylines and stuff like that. And he said he didn't know much. One of the questions they asked him what characters he would like to see. And his answer was Mr. Stilts.
Stiltsman was in there.
Stiltsman?
They showed his costume for a brief second.
Really?
I didn't figure this out, but somebody...
I've never even heard of the character.
Stiltman?
To be honest, yeah.
I read Mark Waid's newest run. Stiltman was in it.
How'd they show this costume?
Okay.
For those of you who don't know what Stillman is, I will put a picture on something that you can look at.
So, Dude McGee, who helped design...
I don't remember Dude McGee either. The guy who made the costume at the end?
He made the costume at the end.
Okay.
If you look behind him, there is some stilts.
Okay, so that's pretty much a guarantee then that...
No, it was not guaranteed. That's just like for the 1% people. When they announce the Daredevil show, I'm like, I hope Stiltman's in there.
You're that 1% that sees Stiltman and Sentry.
Yep.
Speaking of Easter eggs, in the first episode, did you see the new costume at all?
The new costume?
Like the red costume.
No, not that I believe.
Yeah. I've watched it several times. If anyone listens to this and has seen it and can send a screenshot, please do. But I always look at those, 10 things you missed in it.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly we get a glimpse of it in the first episode. Whether that was a drawing or sketch or something that Matt did.
He can't draw. He's blind.
Don't be rude. Blind people draw all the time. They just don't know what it looks like.
I'm going to say, how's he going to know what red is?
Because the same red you see is a different red than I see. Mind blown.
No.
Man, if this was a mind blown podcast, I'd have a new subject to talk about.
That's not a new subject. Anyone that ever gets high, that's the first thing like, hey, what if
No,
my
not
red's...
that one. All right,
Okay.
we're diving into it. Taking a pause. If you don't want to hear something that has nothing to do with comics, skip ahead like 3 minutes.
I'm already bored.
Okay. My new mind blowing thing is, what if you woke up tomorrow and you were 6?
6 years old?
6 years old. The past 20 years of your life was a dream.
That'd be great. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it'd be great. I just wait it out.
You would be traumatized, first off.
I'd roll with it.
And then you'd have things like terrible events, in your life that you would remember when they happened. Like even earth-shattering events like 9/11. And you would be waiting for that moment. And then that moment just doesn't happen.
Oh, you mean I'm transported back? And I thought you meant just 2015, I'm 6.
No, I mean you wake up and
20 years ago.
It's 20 years ago. You're 6 years old. The past 20 years of your life has been a dream.
It would kind of suck, but I just wait, and I do really good in school.
See, that's the only good part I've had people bring up to me is that they would do good in school.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you trust that information's right? I mean, I guess you would be able to prove it eventually, but you would go in thinking in your dream you learned that A equals 6, but in reality A equals 4. You'd be traumatized.
See, the one thing you can't take away is I write songs. All of a sudden, I just would have this backlog of songs as a 6-year-old. Like, hey, look at this.
That's true. It would be beneficial to some people.
That's why I rolled with it. Woke up 6. Okay, what's next?
That idea is copyrighted, by the way, to me. Coming to a theater near you. It's actually Avengers 4.
I'd get experience N64 again. Brand new.
Yeah, I guess you would.
You're looking at my mind.
But you would know you would know 360. You would know Xbox One, PS4, Wii U. If anyone ever bought that.
I bought it from my brother.
Yeah, I would have bought it if I had money.
No, I'd roll with it.
But yeah, I don't know. But anyways, okay, so Mr. Cox, he hopes to see Bullseye, Elektra, and Punisher.
Punisher.
Which Punisher's name has been coming up a lot lately.
That'd be crazy if Punisher showed up.
Yeah.
I would love Punisher to be in the Daredevil format, but if he was in the Daredevil season 2, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it was. First time he came up was pretty much right after Daredevil came out. Everyone had a chance to watch it. And the article was basically about there's been 2 Punisher movies.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them were great. I liked the first one. I don't remember the second one. I know I've seen it though. But it's always been such mature content you can't really do it in a movie without making it R.
Yeah.
But with Netflix, you can.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd even want to do a hard R, but you definitely could go down the Daredevil road. Because I wouldn't say that was an R, but it definitely, you don't want a 6-year-old who just woke up out of being 20 years in the past.
It's the PG-13.
Get my PJs on.
That dipped its toe in the R. That's what this movie was for. But yeah, Punisher would work in there. Second one was from C2E2 this past weekend, where whether it came from CM Punk, former wrestler, current wrestler.
No, he's going into MMA.
Oh yeah, UFC. Current Marvel writer though. He did the Thor annual.
He's gonna do Drax.
And yeah, it was announced Drax. I don't know if it was brought to him or if he brought it up. But he apparently has thrown his name in the ring to play the new Punisher.
What?
If the one exists.
I want him to do an old Punisher.
Yeah,
40s. Not 40s isn't old, but just not CM Punk.
When I watched wrestling, I liked CM Punk, although he was a heel.
He was never a face. Not once.
When I watched it, I think when I was getting out of it, he was turning into a face, but people liked him either way. He's one of those good characters that can play either side.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Like The Rock?
Was The Rock ever a bad guy?
Yeah. He wore sunglasses.
No, he was just a cool guy. He wasn't a bad guy. He was just better than us. Jabroni. But yeah, I don't want to see CM Punk as Punisher.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. And Han shot first. Also.
Yeah, I don't really have a reason to not want to see him, but I don't know. I just want I want a British guy to play him.
Yeah, I see, I think for me it's the build, and at least when I knew CM Punk, he had long hair, and I don't want to see a Punisher with long hair. Not that he couldn't cut it.
What if they did a Vietnam vet with long hair and beard, missing a leg?
Then I don't think that. See, that's how I picture Froggy Nelson, if I can be honest there. Not real familiar with that character besides the show. And
they're the same age.
But
yeah, he shouldn't be an old Vietnam vet missing a leg.
No offense to the actor. That is the only problem I have.
That was the only downside of the show. No, I didn't mind the actor. It's just him and Karen Page. They kept going off and trying to figure out a crime that Matt Murdock as Daredevil figured out in the first episode. Like, are these related? We have to figure it out. And Daredevil's like, yeah, they're related. Moved on.
Yeah, took a lot of patience there for him to just not be like,
what are you guys doing?
Let me handle this. It's me.
But yeah, I don't know. CM Punk seems like a cool dude. Could beat me up, but I don't know if I want to see him as Punisher.
Yeah.
I want to see him fight the Green Ranger. Jason David Frank? No, Jason David Frank is.
At first, I thought you were saying there's a Power Ranger movie coming. Well, I guess there is one. Yeah.
I didn't say that, but you're right. There's one coming.
There was that one self-made one, which I thought was amazing.
I thought it was amazing too.
The Green Ranger did not.
Yeah, he's kind of a Christian, so he's not.
Yeah, I know. He's been calling CM Punk out since he first announced it. That would be a good fight.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Do we want to do Spider-Man cast or bring it back around to Avengers?
Spider-Man cast, you can say all these names, but unless you had a picture, I don't know who they are. I'm not a girl in my late teens or early 20s, so I don't know any of these guys.
Yeah.
If you say the kid from Kingsman, I'll be like, yeah, that dude was cool.
He's not on the list.
I know. That sucks. I think I've seen this short list.
Yeah, apparently these people are being tested in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's my criteria.
Midweek May.
A boy?
Check.
British.
There is one.
Okay.
Yes. That would be.
I've determined that British.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. You held a gun to my head. What does Tom Holland look like? I would get shot.
Yeah. When I looked at this list, there were 2 names I thought I recognized. First one was Nat Wolff.
Nat Wolff.
He was in Fault in My Stars.
Didn't see that movie.
I thought he was the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he's the dorky friend.
But
when I thought it was the main guy, I was like, well, that's this. I'm going to use the word mistake. But put a pause there. I liked Andrew Garfield.
I liked him too. I thought he was fun.
I understand the complaints people had, but
did they have complaints with him or just the movie in general?
Well, both. But I heard people didn't like him because he was too cool. That's pretty much all I heard about it. But that's where, as you know, if you get past first 20 issues, he's not a dorky kid anymore.
He's pretty
maybe
dorky
a little bit further than
if
that,
they go see everyone
modern age at least
in the Ultimates comics, he wasn't as dorky. And to be honest, this day and age, there isn't the 60s era dork. If you go to school, which I frequent the schools.
Shouldn't say that.
I frequent the schools. I look for the dorky kids, but they're not there because the dorky kids know how to do
us.
Yeah, they know how to do all the cool stuff. Play the Minecraft.
That is true. Yeah, the term dork from when Spider-Man came out and when it came today is definitely different. But yeah, so I thought it was the main guy, but he's a super cool kid, and I thought it would be tough. He's also in Divergent, the kid that I thought it was.
Yeah, I didn't see that movie either.
Yeah, he's not one of the main people though. He probably thinks he is. No offense to him. If he happens to listen to this, call me.
You want him to call you?
want to be friends with him because he knows the Secret American Life girl, and she's pretty cool. And I want to tell her that
Shailene
she
Woodley?
wasn't a bad actress. It was bad direction.
Yeah, that. Oh my. We're not gonna go into Secret Life in this podcast.
Yeah, so it turned out he was the dorky kid
Oh.
in Fault in My Stars, so I like him for it. Asa Butterfield.
Sounds like food that I would eat.
He was the kid from Ender's Game. I didn't see it.
Ender's Game. Yeah, he's got the
problem with him. He seems too young, which I don't know when Ender's Game came out. But
yeah, he might seem too young now, but give him 2 years and
that's true.
He's
We are
28.
well, probably only a year before they start filming.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Tom Holland, your British guy.
There we go.
Same problem there. Too young.
Give him a year.
The only thing he really had credited was the movie The Impossible, which was the one about the tidal wave or tsunami in Thailand. The tsunami movie in that one country.
Because it affects the world.
Sorry
Not just funny books.
for anybody over there. Timothy with 2 E's instead of a Y.
Duff McPhee? Nope.
Nope.
It's not the Nanny McPhee?
I don't think so. They credit him to Homeland, which I also have never seen.
I heard that show's great, but no, I've never seen it.
Didn't like the kid as soon as I saw his picture.
Yeah.
So
I'm that way with so many kids.
So yeah, he was an instant out for me. And then Liam James from The Way Way Back.
The Way Way Back or The Way 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 Back?
The Way Way Back, 2 ways. I like him for it. I thought that was a great movie. If he plays the same character he played in that movie, it would work. Because he was the awkward, but knew how to. He was awkward, unsure of himself, but then also cool at the same time, which I think was a good mix for it. But I haven't seen him in anything else, so it could be bad. Also, talking about casting, the Cyclops cast. Get more into the X-Men Apocalypse probably next.
Yeah, we'll talk about X-Men after the Avengers wave is gone.
Don't like him.
You don't like him?
For anyone who is in their late 20s, you'll remember a young man named Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I do, every night.
This guy looks like the poor man's Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I mean, I haven't watched anything he's in. The only big movie he seems to have had is Mud, the Matthew McConaughey movie from a couple of years ago, earlier this year.
It was on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Watch it. Let us know what you think. That's what I'm going to say about X-Men this time around. But bring it around to Avengers. We're about to hit the 40-minute mark.
Wow. That was kind of easy.
Yeah. Probably 10 minutes of this was worth listening to.
You flatter yourself.
Prediction, is it going to be good?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
He's going to make lots of money. It's going to be good.
Yeah, everything seems like it's going to be good, funny, action. Yeah, that's everything I've read about it for people who've seen it is good balance of action and fun, which if they're going with Guardians of the Galaxy approach to it, it worked for that movie. I mean, I don't want to get oversaturated with let's have a comedy that's also an action movie and a superhero movie.
Yeah, I think the Guardians should just do that.
But yeah, it's gonna be good. I think we agree that it's gonna end with them dissembled.
It's them dissembled and a bunch of characters getting off the couch saying it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Yeah, so official prediction from Limited Addiction is the movie's last line is going to be, it's time.
It's time.
And if that happens, I am just quitting. I'm just going to quit at everything and go work for Marvel, which isn't a bad life.
No, it's a good thing.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more we can
yeah,
get into.
I was going to say,
this is our Avengers prediction, preview, and a bunch of other stuff you didn't know you'd listen to
if you listen to this at all.
We'll tune in next week we're both seeing the movie this weekend. Possibly multiple times if it's that good. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I probably won't see it multiple times.
Me either, unless.
I gotta work.
Yeah, I probably won't see it again before we record. I was gonna say maybe I'll see it Wednesday when the movies are cheaper, but we record on Tuesdays.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so we'll be back next week to talk about the movie, see how right we were.
Yeah.
You know, how many Wakanda chips are there?
How many people say it's time?
How many people say it's time? I'm sticking with the Black Panther ending the movie and the post credits with "It's time," eating the Wakanda chips. I'm standing by. I think we'll see Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Captain Marvel though.
Yeah.
I know they're the same characters before people start writing in.
She will be powerless.
She'll be powerless?
Well, she hadn't not got her powers yet.
Yeah, I guess.
Pre-powers.
Yeah, because they're going to do a whole movie on her powers. So yeah, we have to see her military.
Yeah.
Won't see Spider-Man. Maybe see some webbing or a name. Yeah.
Well, I've been Frankie.
I've been Daniel.
And insert catchphrase. This has been the Limited Addiction Podcast.
Here's some music.